Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode of the Environmental Awareness Show. I'm your host, Josh Singh, and in this episode, I will be breaking down two topics and explaining how they resemble a cause and effect relationship. The two topics in today's episode are overpopulation and habitat loss. Overpopulation occurs when the human population exceeds the carrying capacity. Habitat loss is the process in which natural habitat for plants and animals becomes non-viable for life. More often than not, habitat destruction is due to the behavior of humans. Habitat destruction results in loss of habitat and often causes species to become endangered or go extinct. That's enough of me talking. Now, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Lowe, our special guest for today. Dr. Lowe has a PhD in Environmental Science and Management from the University of California, Santa Barbara.
Thank you, Josh. The unprecedented rate at which the human population has grown since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution has had immeasurable impacts on the environment. More people using more resources results in less and less suitable habitat for wildlife, pushing many species to the brink of extinction.
So now that we have some background information, where is overpopulation directly affecting species habitats?
One particular area that has been directly affected by overpopulation is the island of Madagascar. According to Dr. Claire Kremen from PBS, much of Madagascar has been destroyed by the gradual action of small farmers and herdsmen. As the forest is destroyed, so is the habitat for Madagascar's unique plant and animal species. The loss of habitat due to deforestation is the biggest threat to Madagascar's wildlife. Only 10% of Madagascar's forests remain. Recent estimates suggest that 1 to 2% of Madagascar's remaining forests are destroyed each year, and that a staggering 80 to 90% of Madagascar's land area burns each year.
One species that has been directly affected by habitat destruction is the endangered injury lemur. Now, please welcome a real injury lemur from Madagascar.
Hi, I'm one of the last injury lemurs remaining in Madagascar. Over the last few years, more and more of my habitat has been destroyed for agriculture, logging, and mining to support the growing population living here. Because of the diminishing viable habitat, our population has been constantly decreasing in size. Human population growth in Madagascar has also destroyed enough habitat to cause endangerment of a multitude of other species, including the Madagascar sea eagle, blue-eyed black lemur, and the flat-tailed spider tortoise. If human activity continues to destroy Madagascar's habitats, these endemic species may be lost forever or severely damaged beyond repair.
As you can see, when humans harvest a specific resource in excess, they often disrupt natural habitats. Humans are destroying habitat, and the native species that live there are negatively affected. Along with the severe habitat loss in Madagascar, species in Florida are also being affected by the habitat destruction caused by overpopulation. Now, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Lowe to explain the situation that is occurring in Florida.
Thanks, Josh. According to the Florida Department of Environmental Protection's report, History of Florida's Conservation Lands, Florida's population has risen at an annual rate of approximately 4% since the 1950s. In the past 50 years, more than 8 million acres of forest and wetland habitats, about 24% of the state, have been cleared to accommodate the expanding human population. In 1990, about 19 acres per hour of forest, wetland, and agricultural land were being converted for urban uses. The conversion of lands that once provided wildlife habitat to housing developments, roads, office parks, strip malls, parking lots, and industrial sites continues. Because coastal areas have the highest population densities in the country and are expected to face continuing population pressures, there's a strong need for action to protect and restore coastal habitats.
Now let's see how overpopulation in Florida has affected species habitats, such as the Florida burrowing owl. Our next guest is a member of the burrowing owl population in Florida.
Thanks, Josh. I'm an endangered burrowing owl whose habitat is confined to a very specific region of Florida. The reason why my species is so threatened is because the human population that resides in Florida has been constantly growing at a breakneck speed. More humans means more land taken away from other species. With the threat of overpopulation, more and more habitat loss occurs.
Well, the impacts of overpopulation on habitat loss sure are evident. This overpopulation is a serious issue that should be addressed by politicians and citizens all around the world. We can start by educating people about this issue and the negative impacts it has on the environment. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of the Environmental Awareness Show. I'm your host, Josh. We hope to see you next time.